Hello everybody, my name is James, hope you're all doing well, and welcome back to another video. So this weekend it's the Singapore Grand Prix, and the big news surrounding it is the new rules that are coming into force from this weekend. Essentially, the FIA has introduced a new technical directive, which means that from the Singapore Grand Prix onwards, it will be more strict with teams in terms of the design of the front and rear wings in a bid to stop tricks with flexible parts. Now, as part of this, the FIA has outlawed specific wing ideas that it believes contravenes the rules. This includes wing elements that move or rotate in relation to the bodywork they're fixed to, the use of rubber fillets that can help permit localized deflection, plus designs that use soft trailing edges to aid flexing. Speaking about the thinking behind the rules, the FIA single-seater director Nicholas Tombazis suggested to Autosport that a line needed to be drawn under the use of mechanisms that teams could use to get around the rules. He said, "If under a carbon surface we have levers that allow a deflection in one direction and not in another, we can consider this a mechanism. Another thing we've said in the past is that it's not acceptable when a component has a relative motion against an adjacent element, sliding in a different direction from it. What happened recently? Some teams have components adjacent to each other that have a fairly high movement but do not slide in tandem, because these areas are covered with rubber material. We do not consider this acceptable, and for this reason, we've made a clarification." So it's clear the FIA really wants to stamp this out, and it does look like the FIA are trying to close loopholes from every avenue, so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. And according to Automotor and Sport, rumour has it that Mercedes should be affected at the rear wing and Red Bull at the underbody. But Red Bull team boss Christian Horner has said that the rule was not something that would affect the team. He added, "We've seen a few rubbery nose boxes, shall we say, so we'll see those get addressed, I guess, in Singapore." But let's move on to Mercedes, where team boss Toto Wolff believes that regulation changes in the past have been introduced in F1 to stop Mercedes from dominating. Now, Red Bull are currently dominating the 2023 season, and so far they've won every race this year. I mean, it's one of the best cars ever made, and recently Max Verstappen broke the record for the most consecutive wins with his 10th victory in a row at the Italian Grand Prix. Now, if we remember back to pre-2021, Mercedes were the dominant team, and in 2020 the team did have a rocket ship of a car. But Wolff claimed that rules had been introduced to slow them down. For example, over safety concerns, for the 2021 season the FIA made changes to the regulations, which would see a 10% reduction in downforce as teams were made to make diagonal cuts in their floors. Basically, this came after teams were found to be using lateral slots in their floors near the rear tyres to generate more downforce. But Wolff feels it was one of the reasons why their 2020 car was so fast. He said, "The 2020 season was a super dominant year for us. I think it was the best car we ever had. Towards the end of the season they changed the regulations by cutting the floor out, and that was to stop us. You could see the results in 2021. We were not as competitive as Red Bull were, but in Silverstone we unlocked more of the potential of the car and got ourselves back into the championship. But back in the day these regulations were clearly targeted to reset the pecking order." But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. But that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care. Bye.